Welcome back. In this segment, candidates will have 1 minute to answer the question. If you can do it in less, we'll love you for it. Valerie?
This question concerns I-73. The I-73 corridor is a popular plan here, with about 70% of the people we polled for this debate saying they were in favor, and in fact, many of you are in favor. But many of you have also said that you oppose earmarks and want to avoid raising taxes. So the question becomes, how do you pay for it? And could we start with Mr. Bauer?
Absolutely. I think you've got to have a creative business person. Number one, we shouldn't be a donor state anymore. I'm tired of paying for roads out west. Well, money collected in gas taxes needs to stay in South Carolina. Number two, we ought to get creative and say to the landowner, how about let us take 20 years to pay you? Instead of taking one lump sum, take it over 20 years, we'll charge you no income tax off of it, and you charge us no financing for doing it. Immediately, we don't have that capital expenditure. We can spend the money on the asphalt, on the engineering. And then lastly, I'd say we spend billions of dollars on rest areas. Water bill, power bill, keeping the grass cut. Let's privatize those. Let Chick-fil-A, Burger King, McDonald's open up in there. Let them pay the water bill. Let them keep those up. And instead of having billions of dollars going out, we'll have billions of dollars coming in that we can directly spend on building better roads. And lastly, I wouldn't build another road in another country till we can pay for the roads in this country.
Mr. Rice, same question, how to pay for I-73?
Well, infrastructure is not going to be built with earmarks anymore, and that's good for South Carolina. We'll never compete with states with a lot bigger populations and a lot more clout in the earmark system. Everything needs to be based on merit, but people. Congress has recognized the merit of I-73. They did it over 20 years ago. It's been one of the top federal highway projects for over 20 years. And what's happened? Nothing. This district needs a strong advocate. That's how I made my living. That's what I'm doing for you right now on Horry County Council, and that's what I'll do for you when you name me as your congressman. And one other thing. Under current law, a landowner doesn't have to pay taxes on a condemnation if he reinvested in another piece of land anyway. So the federal government's already thought it out.
Mr. Prosser, same question.
First of all, I support Senator Jim DeMint's proposal to bring all gas tax back here and end South Carolina being a donor state so that we're not paying for bridges to nowhere in places like Alaska that gets 429% back return on every dollar that they pay in the federal gas tax. Secondly, I believe a merit-based appropriation system is appropriate. It's something very simple. It's something that we did here in Horry County when we paved over 700 miles of dirt roads. We changed a system that had been in place politically for a number of years, and we made it work based on merit and based on objective criteria. And I do have to correct one thing. Federal law actually prohibits within the federal right-of-way any private business. When I was head of PRT, we actually leased out the 2 state welcome centers to private entities, but those were the ones outside of federal right-of-way. I would support a change to the federal law to enable a public-private partnership, however.